Hello. Hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. I can't even believe that I actually made it here. This has been a day, let me tell you. We have a special guest today. Sarah, it is good to see you. Um, we have a special guest today. Bet you can't guess where my husband is. My husband went down to the office today. He is downtown. So somebody is a little bit anxious. And the times that I've been home, she's been staring at me. She sits right next to, hi, Trudy. Oh my gosh, so many people to say hello to. Hello, Lissa. Hello, Lauren. And hello, Sarah. And hello, Trudy. Oh my goodness. Good to see you all. So we have a carpeted area right next to our kitchen, and she sits on that carpeted area. So she's been sitting there, and then every single time I have gone to the bathroom today, I don't latch the door all the way when I'm home alone, and she scratches her way in, and she comes in and she sits in front of me and shakes, violently shakes for no reason every single time. And so she's having a day. Like, she's not even trying to move, which is very bizarre Gracie behavior. Very bizarre. Are you okay? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I had a day that did not go at all as planned, and I ended up spending literally all day either getting groceries or prepping them. I spent 4 hours in the kitchen prepping things and making this new chicken salad recipe and like putting groceries away and then cleaning up the mess I made. Like, I don't know where my day went. I literally got up here, if you hadn't noticed, to schedule this live stream at like 6:40. And I was like, I'm beat. I'm beat, y'all, but I'm very, very glad to be here, and I am thankful that you guys are here with me. If you are new, hello, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine. This little gremlin is Gracie. You struggle bussin'? Are you struggle bussin' today? Yeah, you're such a sad little girl. And we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. I got some great questions submitted to me on Instagram today. Thank you if you were one of the people that submitted questions. And if you are here in the chat, of course, you get to ask questions live and talk to me live. So let's get right into it. But first, let's start. Bad news. I have a hair in my mouth. I have Gracie hair in my mouth somehow. Somehow, some way. Let's talk about highs and lows, ladies and gentlemen. While I figure out what the... There we go. I got it. Oh, dogs. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. Thank you for licking me. Thank you so much. So let's start with highs and lows. Highs and lows are the opportunity we have to share with one another what our highlights of the week were. What were the best things? They don't have to be anything like wild and crazy and fantastical. It can be, if you have something like that, that's great, but it can be a small celebration, just a little something you want to shout out as your highlight for the week. And then on the flip side, I would love to hear about your low points of the week as well, so we can support one another in those. And I will go ahead and get started. I can't decide what my high is this week, y'all. I really can't. It's just been kind of like this weird go, go, go week. And I don't even know. We had a good weekend. We had a fun weekend. It was a good time. But everything has kind of been overshadowed by the low. I don't normally have lows, but this week I have a low, and the low is actually that my husband's grandfather passed away on Thursday last week, which is not a surprise. We knew it was coming. We knew with almost 100% certainty that when we said goodbye to him when we were there over Christmas and winter, and when we left in February, we were pretty positive it was going to be the last time we saw him alive. And we were right. We were right. We knew it was coming. But it's still impactful when it does. You know, it's still impactful when it does. So we are going back to Florida at some point in the not too distant future to celebrate grandfather's life and everything. So we got plans up in the air for that. We're trying to, work all the things out. How long are we going to stay? Are we going to fly, or are we going to drive and extend our stay a little bit because it's Florida and we can do that? I don't even know. Y'all, she's just sitting here. She's literally just sitting here. She's just sitting here. Oh, you can't see through the highs and lows sign. Weird. It's a weird behavior. It's a weird behavior. So that was my low. I don't know. We overall spirits are high. which is great. The family seems to be very much at peace with it, which is great. And it's just now we have stuff to do, right? Now we've got to do the whole celebrating life, getting everybody together, all of those things. Let's see what everybody else has to share. Lissa says, not sure what my high is. I guess getting better with tracking on Tuesdays at small group, and I've done some kind of Pilates workout every single day since last Wednesday, and I've loved them. That is awesome. Oh, I guess my high is I got my weight bench. Thank you, Lissa, for inspiring my high. My high is I got my freaking weight bench that I have been asking for since like August. My husband finally bought it for me, and it was a process from getting that thing to actually building it. And then one of the things that screws go into is stripped. So my husband had to bring it back to the store, get a different one. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it's hard even when you are expecting it. My lows are that I don't feel good, and my meal prep breakfast was so gross after 3 days, I decided to throw it out. Oh no! What did you meal prep for breakfast that got gross after 3 days? Hi, Andy. Good to see you. I'm so thank you. Thank you. You can't move if I'm gonna hold you like that, honey bunny. Sarah's hi. I replaced my Fitbit with an Apple Watch. Ooh. I don't think you'll ever go back. To be honest with you, I swore that I would be a Fitbit girl, and I've loved Fitbit for years and years and years. I love Fitbit. Once I changed to the Apple Watch, I was like, wow, I get it. I understand why the Apple Watch is so popular. Weird to be done after using it since 2013. Low, I got to work on my blood pressure. Yeah, I get that. It's good to know though, right? Like when you have a low that's a medical thing, like, oh, my test results weren't great. At least you know. I really, really love having the information, right? Even if it's something you have to fix, at least you have the right information. And I think that's very, very valuable. So good luck on doing the fixing of the blood pressure. Anybody else got anything? Hi, Gracie. Yeah, there she is. She's having a day. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Good licks. Good girl. You want to leave? Oh, good. You go. Okay, cool. I did an egg bake. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Interesting. That's entirely possible. That is entirely possible. Unless the recipe specifically calls for a combination of egg and egg whites. It's entirely possible that the liquid egg whites just made it a little bit meh. Because I'm trying to think, like, what do I use when I make like the Skinny-ish dish biscuits and gravy bake? The recipe calls for egg beaters, which are like egg whites with coloring. I don't know exactly what the additives are to make it a little bit more than egg whites, but it sets up, it looks like egg, it feels like egg, more than just liquid egg whites. And it works beautifully. It works absolutely beautifully. But I can understand how if the recipe didn't call for that, and like if you added too many vegetables that also had water and things like that, that's one of the things you got to watch out for when you're using fruit and or vegetables in a recipe. Take into account that those things have water in them, and it can sometimes mess with the texture of things. Whole eggs only. Whenever I cook with egg whites, it just gets gross and watery. There you go. There you go. Motivation to actually work on health. Exactly. Constant obliger here. And now you have something you're obligated to. That's exactly right. Even if it's bad news, now, like, I read something just the other day, and I can't remember where it was, but it was a very, very high percentage of people don't make change in their life for their health until there is actually something wrong, until there is a valid reason to do it. Heart problems, blood pressure, cholesterol that's threatening heart attack, things like that. That's when people actually start to implement the change. So it's not just you. It's a lot of humanity that reacts that way. I think one of my carers has Parkinson's. Oh no, I will pray for your caregiver. There's no recipe. I threw it together. They release water and just get gross. Yeah, I always do eggs and egg whites together now. I did the egg white phase ages ago, points plus days. I have plenty of photographic proof that I did a lot of just plain egg white scrambles. And nothing against like plain egg white scrambles. Sometimes they're exactly what you need macro-wise. But now I pretty much always at least throw in one egg because one egg, you know? So What should we chat about tonight, my friends? I apologize in advance if I come across a little bit discombobulated because, like I said, I had a day that went not at all how I thought it was going to go. And it's fine. We have amazing, delicious food in the house. Fun fact, spoiler alert type stuff. My husband and I found out that, well, found out. We felt that it was a sign from the universe. It was a sign from God. 3 separate times in the last week, my husband and I have been presented with information about the Mediterranean diet. Have y'all heard of the Mediterranean diet? And this article that I found actually was from, no, it wasn't from Healthline. The article I found was in like the Apple News app. I can't remember what place it actually I can tell you because I shared it with his side of the family. But it was talking about how the Mediterranean diet has actually shown, studies have shown that the Mediterranean diet, oh, I didn't send a link, I sent a screenshot. NBC News can stave off dementia. And that's very intriguing to my husband's side of the family because dementia runs in that family. So my husband is actually very, very acutely aware of his mental state. And between his ADHD and he forgets things, he doesn't quite, like, if I tell him something, I have to tell him something 5 times before he remembers. He needs photographs to kind of trigger memory. So one of his primary fears is is developing dementia, and especially like early onset dementia. He watched his grandmother deteriorate for like 8 or 10 years with this disease. And now that and we think grandfather had it towards the end too. And so, and that was 2 different parents, right? Like that was 2 different sides. So he's very acutely aware of wanting to keep his brain as sharp as humanly possible. And so when I shared the Mediterranean diet, like the article that I found, he texted me on a separate thread immediately because I was downstairs, he was upstairs, and he goes, "I am on board with the Mediterranean diet." And we talked about it a little bit, and I researched it just a little bit, just enough to get a general idea. And it turns out we eat that way a lot of the time. We eat that way a lot of the time. It's fruits, it's vegetables, it's nuts, it's olive oil and avocado oil are your primary fats. Nuts are also your primary fat as well. So it's very unsaturated fat, which is what studies are showing is a much healthier approach to fat intake. It is not an exclusion of dairy, but dairy is a sometimes food instead of an all the time food, So like I looked at I found this Healthline article, healthline.com, and it gives a really great like Mediterranean diet 101, the foods you always eat, the foods you sometimes eat, the foods you rarely or as a treat eat, and it give you a meal plan. And there was dairy implemented in it every single day. Sometimes it's feta cheese, sometimes it's Greek yogurt, things of that nature. But it was a very interesting thing. And so we talked a little bit about it and about how like one of the things that we want to stay away from or start getting a little bit more away from is processed meats like lunch meat, which is literally something that my husband eats every single day or every single weekday, right? And so we talked about like what can we swap out for lunches so Eric feels satisfied and doesn't have to do like a crazy amount of prep when he's doing his workday, because he usually comes down, he has his sandwich routine down to like a 5-minute thing. He knows what to do. And so doing something different, switching it up can sometimes interfere with the routine that he's got going, right? So it will fall on me to create a little bit more. So I just made, one of the reasons I made a huge mess in the kitchen was I made sweet and savory Steph's. She's on Instagram and she has a website. Balsamic caprese balsamic chicken salad. I don't know. It was this massive amount of chicken salad that had tomatoes and fresh mozzarella cheese. And instead of the light mayo, I actually used avocado oil mayo. And they have Greek yogurt in it to kind of extend the mayo. So I made this big thing because it's not deli meat, and I'm excited. I'm excited for where this is going to go. A heavy emphasis on seafood And so I bought some wild caught salmon today. I have cod and salmon and mahi and shrimp in my freezer. Like we're kind of going to try our best to lean into it just a little bit more. And the way we lean into it a little bit more is maybe up the quality of some of our ingredients. I bought mostly organic produce today. From Target, so it was still relatively budget friendly. And I did the whole like if it matters. Like I picked up an organic avocado and I was like, I don't eat the skin of an avocado. I don't need organic or avocados. And I put the organic ones down and I went for the ones that were 85 cents. And yeah, it's just it's one of those things that, like, we're dabbling and you guys get to be the first to know. We haven't like officially started anything, but we're swapping out like microwave popcorn for today. I ordered one of those silicone popcorn poppers on Amazon. And because like that's the trend in Weight Watchers right now, right? Is the whole air popped popcorn because it's 0 points. So my husband eats microwave popcorn almost every day. That is his nighttime snack. And microwave popcorn was literally one of the things on the list of the Healthline article. And I was like, you eat this. And same with lunch meat. I was like, we need to just swap some things out. So I was like, what about, how do you feel about it? Like, air popped. How do you feel if I got one of those bowls and we learn how to just make it in our microwave ourselves? So I bought kernels today and we have that thing coming tomorrow. Just little changes here and there, but we are going. And what's interesting is if I the more I thought about it, the more I realized that like the Mediterranean diet is also very much Kelly LeVeque Fab Four. Like they're all pretty much the same concept. All pretty much the same concept. More emphasis on like the leaner meats and the seafood. Mediterranean's very, very big on the seafood. But seafood and chicken and turkey and things like that. Low on the beef, make it special if you're going to have the beef. Like duck and other things and lamb and stuff is in, like, it'll be really interesting. It'll be interesting. Will I do it like 100% all the time? No, of course not. But leaning into it a little bit more could be interesting, and it's shown to have a whole host of really, really solid benefits. Meanwhile, I sent the article to my family and I brought it up to my mother-in-law today while we were texting back and forth, and she goes, wait, I thought that article was saying that way of eating is bad for you. I'm like, what? No. Like the article said it was good for you. And I was like, how would a nice seafood, fruit, veggie, nut forward diet be bad for you? Anyway, I thought it was funny. My first introduction to the concept of the Mediterranean diet was when I tried South Beach when I was 16 or 17. I did not know it was South Beach diet. I like the idea of it being the Mediterranean diet. I've been not feeling like cooking, but I need to focus on it more. Better for health. Absolutely. 100% true. Cooking your own food it's self-care. It really, like, in almost its purest form, right? Learning how to cook for yourself and taking the time to cook for yourself. And here's what I would do. Sarah, I don't cook every day. We eat home-cooked meals every day, but I do not cook every day. I cook kind of on like a 3-day-a-week schedule is what I do. So on Mondays, I will cook enough food to get us to at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for dinners. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, it actually gets us through the whole week. I love when that happens. A couple weeks ago, I made Emily Bites creamy chicken soup, and it literally lasted the entire week. I made a double batch, and we just ate it all week long because we never get tired of it. And I only had to cook once that week, but it was still homemade food every single night, which was lovely. So if you start dividing it up and don't think about, I have to cook every single day, because you don't. You can make enough, especially since it's just the two of you, right? You can make enough to have the same thing a couple days in a row. And then you can still have the home cooked food. Another great approach, and it's kind of the approach that I do a little bit more, especially for breakfast and lunch, but you can do it for dinner too, is ingredient prep. Jordan Syatt actually talks a lot about this. Ingredient prep. So he doesn't have like, this whole dish is complete for Monday's dinner and this dish is complete for Tuesday's dinner. But what his wife does is, roasts up a giant container of mixed vegetables and, cooks 1 or 2 proteins and cooks a big thing of rice. So they have all of the ingredients to build whatever kind of bowl or meal they want to have, all of the ingredients already done, and they just can make things up as they go in terms of what the dish is comprised of, which is another really great approach. If WW wasn't so fat phobic, it would also be in line with the purple plan and the 0 point food list. Interesting. Just hit burnout. I can get that. I understand that. I really understand. I literally like hit burnout in the kitchen today as I was cleaning and everything because I didn't want my husband to come home to a trashed kitchen. So I did all, all the stuff, and I was literally like, I had so many other things I needed to do today. And I was really having a moment of like, I don't ever want to cook ever again. Like just in that moment, because I was like, this is so wildly frustrating that like it took me literally all day to do 2 grocery runs and all of this prep. And now our refrigerator looks beautiful and we have this awesome chicken salad, but I'm exhausted. I didn't get to work on content today like I was supposed to. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. Ingredient prep, yeah, it's a really solid approach, and you don't have to make it hard. You don't have to make it hard. Ground turkey, lean ground turkey, a little bit of seasoning, cook up a couple pounds of lean ground turkey and put it in a container, and then roast a giant sheet of a couple types of vegetables and make one big pot of rice or quinoa or something. It's so easy. It's so easy, and it'll take you a little bit of time initially, but then you'll be done for days, which is great. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Very, very cool. So that's a little update on kind of like the things that are going on in Engebretsen area. So now let's go ahead and hop into questions that I got. I'm gonna laugh. I laughed at the first question because multiple people asked me for this today, and nobody has asked me for it like ever. And it showed up 3 times today. And it was asking for an update on sleep apnea and the CPAP machine. And I was like, that's so interesting that like everybody thought about that today. And it's actually really funny because I'm like 2 weeks out from it being like my 1-year anniversary with my CPAP machine. So, for those of you who don't know, I have sleep apnea, and at the end of March of last year, I got myself an APAP machine, which is like a CPAP machine but cooler because the APAP machine is automatic pressure instead of continuous pressure. So this machine actually, instead of doing the same level of pressure, the way the machine works, right, is it blows through your nose and it keeps your airway open while you're sleeping, because sleep apnea is when the airway closes. So this one actually constantly runs at a lower pressure. And only when you close up your airway does the air pressure shoot up, because it can sense that you've done that. If you open your mouth while you have the mask on, you go, all of the pressure shifts and the thing kicks on and blows heavier air, which forces your mouth closed. So it's an automatic thing, which means you don't have so much air blowing on you all the time, only when you need it. And quite frankly, it was exactly what I needed. My numbers plummeted immediately. And plummeting is a good thing. So I had, according to the at-home test, when I tested, I had apnea episodes an average of 17 times an hour, which is considered moderate sleep apnea. And supposedly, the home tests actually log less than what you actually have. So it's very possible I had heavy sleep apnea. I snored. I've always snored. Ask my family, ask my college roommates, ask my husband. I've always snored. Always, always. So we've always had a hunch that I've needed this, and I just never took the initiative to go and actually get it done for sure. That since I've worn the mask, my numbers average like less than 1 event per hour. So literally just the act of having that little bit of extra air to keep things open has completely eliminated my sleep apnea. I need the machine in order to do it, but with the machine on, the sleep apnea goes away, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. And that's what tells me this is exactly what I needed. Why didn't you do it a decade ago, Brianna? But it's all good. It's all good. As for like the update, what has happened? What has changed? Have I seen any weight changes from the sleep apnea machine, which can happen? No, I have not seen any weight changes. Have I seen any energy changes? Well, it really depends on the day. I can't tell you with utmost certainty that I have seen any changes. Here's the thing. And what I really don't know, and it's just kind of lousy that this is the case, right? First of all, CMT, chronic fatigue, that whole thing. I'm just constantly in a state of a little bit tired. But I got my machine in at the end of March. I caught COVID at the end of May, and my energy levels have not been the same since. So, is it possible that my energy levels could be a lot worse, especially post COVID? And I had the whole long COVID energy drain thing without the machine. It's entirely possible, but I have no way of knowing that for sure. What I do know is I sleep deeper than I ever have before. I fall asleep faster. More often than not, I stay asleep, which is awesome. And the quality of sleep that I get is heavier. So even if my body doesn't always register as having more energy, I know that I got much more higher quality sleep. There is no more snoring registered on my sleep cycle app. If there is snoring, it's typically my husband, and it's picking up my husband and not me. And it's just like overall, you can tell that my sleep apnea has improved and my quality of sleep has improved. So that's really, really good. Did I get any of like the crazy life-changing effects from it? No. But just knowing that I'm getting better quality sleep and feeling like I'm getting better quality sleep. I sleep deeper, I sleep longer, I sleep faster. All really, really good things. It's like it's the weirdest thing. Like once you get used to it, you have to get used to it first. It takes a while to get used to it. But once you get used to it, now I often feel like putting my mask on, because it's the last thing I do, is almost like my brain's cue to go to sleep. Because I'll put my mask on, I'll get in my bed, I'll get all cozy, I'll poke at my phone, and there are plenty of days where I'm falling asleep before I even put my phone down. I can't tell you how many times I've fallen asleep, woken up, my phone's on my chest, my phone is next to me because I just flat out fell asleep in the middle of whatever I was doing. It's like the mask is my brain's signal to go to sleep, and it listens, which is a far cry from insomnia problems. So, all in all, it's been a really, really great thing. I like it. Have you tried electrolytes only drink? Yeah, I drink electrolyte drinks. Not every day. I've drank an Element, and I really liked that LMNT. I did enjoy Element. I'm currently drinking, and not with any consistency. I was sent the product to try. You've heard of IQ bars? They have a drink mix as well that has some electrolytes and stuff in it, as well as like some neurotropics or like the stuff for your brain, like lion's mane and stuff like that. And they're actually really good. And I actually am really enjoying them, which is awesome because I have a discount code for them and all those things. But they sent me the product to try first. And I'm enjoying them. So those are electrolytes as well. And I do have some Relight electrolyte that I do not drink with any regularity. I will once it starts to warm up again. I really liked in the summer having my morning beverage of like electrolytes with a little bit of lemon and stuff before I had my coffee. It was just very hydrating and fulfilling. And I don't know why I don't do it in the winter. I just don't feel like it. Speaking of electrolytes and hydration, I'm very dehydrated today. So yeah, I've been liking electrolytes. I have no problem with them whatsoever. All right, the next question. How is the new weight bench? I love it. I love the new weight bench. It is wonderful. It is glorious. And I get to do Lift More, which is the program that I've been wanting to do. And that program, y'all, is no joke. It is no joke. It's really intense, but in the best way possible. And I haven't killed myself. Like I felt like I've had a very thorough workout, been sweating just from the weightlifting every single day that I've done it. And I did it Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I actually took a rest day today, and thank God I did. Because interestingly, the muscle division of all of this is different than Lift 4. But so we did. Oh, Alexa's reminding us to take out the trash. I have my door open, which isn't usually the case, so Gracie can come in and out as she pleases because no one else is home. But the division of the muscles, day one is chest and biceps instead of chest and triceps. It's chest and biceps. Day two was glutes and not glutes. I'm sorry. Quads. I touched my quads and I said glutes. Quads, so the front of your leg, right? The front of the big part of your leg, and calves, right? I love having the weight bench because I actually modify things. You'll see this in an upcoming vlog or the vlog that goes up tomorrow, actually. I talk a little bit more about the weight bench and more and all of that and the adaptations that I'm doing. But because I had a place to sit, I could do seated calf raises. I can't do regular standing calf raises. I don't have the strength to calf raise my own weight anymore. That is the one part of my body that's actually lost strength is in my calf muscles. Not uncommon with CMT patients, but true nonetheless. I have lost the ability to do that. So, being able to sit and I put a dumbbell on my legs and do calf raises that way, I actually felt like I got a thorough calf workout without injuring myself, which was wonderful. And the weight bench is completely responsible for that, which is great. The quadricep workout, the thing that is the sorest on my body and is still sore today, I did this workout on Monday. My glutes, my freaking glutes. I have a glute workout tomorrow. I have a glute specific workout tomorrow that I am now dreading because the quad workout, which is, squats and all that, made my booty hurt. And when your booty muscles hurt, everything hurts. Everything you do because you sit down and you stand up how many millions of times a day and your bootius maximus is responsible for that movement and it hurts. And I don't know if it's because I said this to my husband last night who had no feedback for me, which is fine. But my glutes get really sore really easily. When I do deadlifts, I have to be really careful. And I can do so much more with the weights in the moment, but if I'm not careful, I'm out of commission for 2 days because my gluteus maximus hurts to the maximus. And I'm wondering if my glutes are actually just weak. And I did not realize just how weak they were. So working them in the same level that I'm working the other muscles in my legs is actually harder for them. I don't know if that's the case or not. I always presumed that my thigh muscles and my booty muscles were actually pretty strong, all things considered. But the way that I get so sore so easy back there, maybe not. And I don't like that because it's very impactful. It's very impactful on my day if my booty muscles hurt. So I got to work those tomorrow. But the weight bench is awesome. It really is awesome. Let's see what else. What are your favorite spring flowers? Is it horrible that I don't know which flowers are specifically spring flowers? When I think of spring, I think of tulips. I think, and they're very pretty. I like them. I've never actually owned tulips. I've never even been given tulips. But I think they're very pretty and they very much scream spring to me. I think of daisies. I like daisies a lot. I think daisies are very pretty. In You've Got Mail, the quote is, I like daisies. They're the happiest flower. And I love that movie. So I was like, of course, daisies. Daisies are the happiest flower. But I don't actually know what are the actual spring flowers. That's the problem. But I like flowers. I really like flowers. I'm a little bit jaded on carnations because in my sorority in college, our flower was the carnation. And so we had carnations all the time. All the time we had carnations. And so I'm kind of over carnations. But I think flowers are so pretty. And I'm watching people in Texas and whatever doing their spring reset vlogs and actually doing things like planting flowers on their balconies. And I was like, you lucky ducks and people that can actually do stuff outside right now because it's beautiful and I want a little pop of color. And I almost bought myself, you know what I really like that apparently might only be a seasonal thing, but it's a Trader Joe's thing. If you go to their flower section right now, they have what's called a unicorn baby's breath, and it's beautiful. It is so fun. I mean, you can make unicorns baby breath, right? Like the science experiment we did when we were in school where you take the white flowers and you put them in water that has food coloring in it and the food coloring goes into the petals of the flower. That's what they did with these, I'm presuming, with these baby breath. And so you get these beautiful white, light blue, light pink, light purple baby's breath that are absolutely gorgeous. I should have bought some and I did not. I really should have. But it's beautiful. So like I really like that. That just feels very it feels very spring because it's not like bam, bright and bold, but it's just a little pop of pastel, which I really, really liked. Let's see. Chest and biceps are my two favorites. Nice. Tibia and fibia with anterior and exterior muscle. Yeah. Tulips and daffodils. Lilies. Oh, yeah, I was going to say lilies. Lilies. So lilies are very pretty. I like them. I'm wildly allergic to them. I learned this one Easter, and like, I don't know if it was just happenstance and I had a really rough reaction one year, but it was a handful of years ago when I was still attending my Lutheran church. And we went to the Easter Vigil service. And on the Easter Vigil service, of course, they already have the altar set up for Easter, and the first half of the service is in the dark. I needed to use my inhaler. I was singing, and my nose got all clogged up, and I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I realized the altar was literally covered in Easter lilies. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm allergic to lilies. And they're in everything. Like when you get a nice bouquet of flowers, you're often going to find lilies in there. For Christmas, my father-in-law's partner sent him and his wife, my in-laws, just a beautiful bouquet of flowers, just, as a Merry Christmas, blah, 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 blah. And there were lilies in it. And both my husband and I started to have allergy problems with them being in the foyer, and they actually had to get moved upstairs because we were both having allergy problems to them. So I do think of them because of Easter, but I want to love them, but I can't. I'm not allowed to love them. Random wildflowers. Flowers are beautiful. They are something, I don't know why I have such a hesitation with it right now, but like there's something I really truly want to bring home on a more regular basis. And I almost do it all the time, but I rarely actually do it. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've bought myself flowers, just because they're pretty and I like them in the house, right? Occasionally, my husband will randomly come home with flowers. That's a rare instance, but it does happen. And I love the flowers that he comes home with. He just goes to the grocery store. Like, it's nothing crazy, but they're just beautiful. And I should get better about doing that. Hello, Kathy. It is good to see you. Better late than never, my friend. Glad you are here. On one hand with the 4 fingers left over. Nice. Next question, and friends in the chat, if you have anything that you want to discuss and want to ask me, feel free. What vitamins and supplements do you take, and do you take protein powder? I'm going to answer the easy question first. Yes, I take protein powder. Do I take it every day? No, but we have like 5 different protein powders in this house, and I'm always trying new protein powders. Fun fact, I finally got my hands on some samples of the Clean Simple Eats protein powder. Not sponsored. I literally saw them in Shields and went, oh, I finally get to try this powder, because I've been unwilling to commit to the shipping costs for the samples, or like a huge quantity of the samples, or a $60 bag of protein without trying it first, even though people rave about it, because I was questioning the sweeteners that were in it. And I was thinking that there was a possibility that the Clean Simple Eats protein powder would not agree with my digestive system, because I'm sensitive to any and all substitutes, except like sucralose. I can apparently eat sucralose all day long and it's fine. But I tried Clean Simple Eats for the first time this weekend, and I had no problems. I don't know if it was a one-off thing. I still have 2 more packets or 3 more packets to try, but it was pretty good. I made a real simple smoothie, nothing elaborate. So like there was still a little bit of protein flavor, but it was solid on its own. It stood for itself, and it did not that day cause me digestive upset, which is good news. So yes, I take protein powder. I also use, more often than protein powder, I use protein shakes like Fairlife shakes. I exclusively use Fairlife shakes in some capacity now, but a protein supplement of some kind is regularly in my rotation. Yes. In terms of vitamins and supplements, I'm not a medical professional. Please seek medical advice before you switch up your supplement routine. That being said, the things that I take sometimes consistently, sometimes inconsistently are as follows. A multivitamin. I take a multivitamin every single day. I take vitamin D with vitamin K3 in it every K3, K2 every single day. So vitamin D and a multivitamin because I like extra vitamin D in my life. I take iodine sometimes when I, actually get it together and put my drink. I have this little special drink that I make that is colloidal minerals by Now Foods, which has a whole bunch of different minerals and trace minerals and stuff in it. I take inositol in there. And then I've been putting my iodine in there with a splash of lemon juice and then filling up the rest with water. And it's actually pretty solid. And then I take selenium when I take the iodine because you're supposed to take those two things together. But you know what I did today at Costco, you guys? Instead of taking selenium, I bought Brazil nuts because 2 Brazil nuts has your entire day's worth of selenium in them. Literally, the serving is 9 Brazil nuts, which is like 4 days worth of selenium in one serving. So I got these nice organic nuts from Costco, and all I have to do is eat 2 a day, and I no longer have to depend on a supplement to get my selenium. I'm actually using food the way God intended it to get my selenium in, which I think is very cool. So, and I did it today. I tasted them. They taste like nuts. They're fine. So I will be eating 2 of those a day as part of a snack or something to get my selenium in. And then I supplement my protein. I take a probiotic. I take a probiotic every morning. I think that's all of it. Oh, African violets. I think my grandma used to have an African violet. Yeah. Yeah, and you have to be really careful about which plants are poisonous for cats too, right? Gracie, thank God Gracie doesn't eat anything. She's sleeping in her bed. She really doesn't. Like, we could keep packaged food on the floor and she won't even think twice about it. She's like, whatever. She likes to sniff everything, but she won't get into anything. So I don't have any worry about Gracie trying to eat a plant. Costco protein bars, sugar, alcohol. Yes. So the Costco ones, I believe, are like the Quest bar dupes, right? And Quest now is smothered in sugar alcohol. I've stopped eating Quest bars, guys. I've stopped. I'm actively always constantly searching for protein bars that are made with real sugar or coconut sugar or honey or something that's real sugar. Why are we condemning real sugar? Real sugar isn't the problem as often as we think it is, people. And for some people, it might be. But it's really like we have demonized sugar straight down to you know where. And it's unnecessary. And for me personally, especially inside of what I've learned about my body, and how it processes food. Again, I had this confirmed today. I brought home, you'll see all of these in upcoming videos, but today's treat for myself, I brought home, Costco had mini carrot cakes. And I had a serving of one for lunch. Because I wasn't wildly hungry, but I needed to eat food. That sounded good. I had plenty of calories because all I had eaten was breakfast, which is a blueberry muffin and a protein shake. So I was like, I'm going to eat one of these for lunch. And then, I'm up doing like food prep or whatever. And I remembered about an hour later, I was like, oh, I should test my blood sugar. And it was 118. 118. The guidelines in Kelly LeVeque's book, where she's expecting that you're eating her way of eating, Fab 4, blah, 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 says an hour after eating, your blood sugar should be under 120. I ate a carrot cake thing, like literal carrot cake with cream cheese frosting, and my blood sugar was under 120. So again, why are we demonizing sugar? Not sure. Really not sure. So yeah, this is why I love healthy eating on the go bars, because they're actually real food. They're not protein bars, but I bought Heavenly Hunks today. Those are really freaking good too. And you know what they're made out of? Real food. And they're so good. I don't know. I need more regular old food protein bars. Like, I need more brands like healthy eating on the go in my life. That's what I need. Simple protein shake breakfasts. Yes, I'm looking forward. I want to do a Fab 4 smoothie for breakfast, it's just too cold. It's just too cold and I can't bring myself to do it. Claritin, Soul CBD Alert capsule, and then half the month I throw in the gummy. Nice. That's a great combination. These gremlins are unhinged. They crack me up. Oh dear. I've added in some kombucha. Yes, kombucha. Right. There used to be Rise protein bars. Have I heard of them? Do I know them? Another one, okay, the one that I apparently just mentally written off, but it's actually legit. Freaking RX bars. They're a little bit high in fat because they're nut based, but dude, RX bars are all whole foods too. Let's not forget the RX bars. I really like those, and I just, for whatever reason, have not thought about them. Not super high in protein, but the ingredients are solid. Were they? Oh, what was their name? I saw a new protein bar today that I almost brought home, but I was like, no, I have to finish all the IQ bars that I was sent first because the IQ bars ingredients overall are pretty solid. It does have a little bit of stevia, the long version of stevia, and I think it has a little bit of erythritol. I can't remember the other thing. It does have like a little bit of sugar alcohol in it, but not enough to upset me. I've been eating them and it's been fine, so knock on wood. That's good. But I saw them and they were in a pretty pink and blue box. And I almost put them in my cart because the ingredients were solid. True Bar. Yes. True Bar. Yes. I literally had that in my hands today and almost put it in my cart and went, no, finish what you have and then you can try the new bar. Yes. So if you try those, let me know. Rise. Oh. Rise bars. We'll have to look into the Rise bars. Rise, almond, and honey. Excellent. Yeah. Honey I'm good with. Almonds, honey, and whey protein isolate. Are they good? Have you tried them? Are they good? Because those are ingredients I can get behind. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so hard to find protein bars and protein powder. Like, I hate to say it, but at some point, I'm probably, once we run out of protein powder, unless I, like, am just really, like, PE science, gung-ho, whatever, I might go to Naked Nutrition, which is stupid expensive, but it's made with sugar, right? Sugar? It doesn't have any sugar alcohol in it. That's for sure. It's true. It's true. My husband would be very proud of your philosophy. He hates when I buy something in a Costco-sized package before I've tried it. He's like, why do you do that? Why not buy one? I'd rather you pay more money for the one or two and try them first to decide you like them. Then go nuts. If you like them and you're going to eat them, go buy the Costco-sized pack. But don't try things in a Costco-sized pack. Hard to find in Canada. Oh, you're coming to visit on Tuesday, huh? Excellent. What's your agenda? When you go and visit the United States, where are you going and what do you do? Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's true. I could do unflavored. I think I have Be Well by Kelly unflavored protein in my basement. I have everything I need to make Fab Four smoothies for like 5 months. I just need it to be warm enough where I'm not going to freeze my tush off if the first thing I put in my body in the morning is a frozen substance, you know? So that answered the vitamin supplement protein powder question, right? Next question. If you could eat only one fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think it would be strawberries. It is for sure in the berry family. For sure in the berry family. If I could have like the little packet, like the blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, like if I could have just like those, if I never was able to have another fruit for the rest of my life and all I could eat were those 3 berries, I would not care. I love berries. I love them. I eat them all the time. I love them. If I had to pick one, it would probably be strawberries. I love strawberries. Nice. That's very helpful. So if you went and bought the Costco-sized thing and you didn't like the Costco-sized thing, you can return it. It's good to know. Walmart, Target, yeah, Target, Trader Joe's, Ulta. Wow, what a day. That is an excellent day for you. That is a solid day of shopping. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that is the that's a fruit. If you guys could eat only one fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be? I'm very curious now. I'm very curious. I want to know, what is your fruit? If you can only have one fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be? Isopure. I've seen Isopure around. I can do like the ones that sit the best with me, as bad as it is, are the ones with sucralose in it. Like if I see sucralose in something, I don't care. If I see erythritol, if I see monk fruit, I can take monk fruit in small doses. I'm learning. It has to be a very small dose. One of the things I learned upon my research is sometimes monk fruit is actually cut with erythritol. So I'm wondering if the monk fruit things that I am intolerant of are actually cut with erythritol. And that's why I have a problem with it. Although there's something about like there's just the taste of it. Like the B-Ball by Kelly protein powder is just monk fruit, cocoa powder, and beef protein isolate. But there's just something the flavor. It sits on my tongue in a way that no other artificial sweetener has sat on my tongue before. It is the darndest thing. But like my Fairlife shakes, have the nutrition shakes have um monk fruit in it. It's there on like one of the very last ingredients says monk fruit. And those are fine. Those sit with me fine. So I can't explain it, but like why for my body, why are the ones that are supposed to be healthier for you are the ones that are giving me more distress than the ones that are not as healthy for you? And everyone's like, oh, these are the ones that cause cancer. I'm like, yeah, but these are the ones my body can tolerate. Like, that's not fair. It's not fair. Um, Interesting. Interesting. I would still pick strawberries if I only had one option. Banana, but now he thinks he would miss apple pie. That's valid. That's absolutely valid. Apple pie would be missed. Um, yeah, there's luckily we live in a world where we don't have to pick only one fruit to eat for the rest of our lives. So eat fruit in abundance, my friends. Eat the fruit in abundance. It's a fun question. This is also a fun question. We can thank Lissa for these questions this evening. If you could pick one age to stay at for life, how old would you choose to be? And I think my answer to this is 31. I like, other than the whole global pandemic thing, my 30s have been great. I love my 30s. You're out of your 20s, you're done with like phase. Not that I really had a partying phase, but by the time I was 30, I had my dog, I was married, I had my own place. Like I'm very, very happy with where I was at in life. I was actively weight training. I was a lower weight than I was now or than I am now. Like I was at the time, this is what kills me is when you realize that like the where I was then in terms of my body is where I should have been happy. And I was still actively trying to change my body and make it smaller. And now that I'm sitting here needing to lose a little bit more weight, I'm like, you should have been happy there. That is where you should have learned how to maintain. 31. So it's not like I was active, I was energetic, I'm very, very happy. Lots of ducks in a row. And my CMT had not progressed in any sort of way. So 31, that's a solid place to be. That's a solid place to be. Plain from a macro perspective? What's wrong with it from a macro perspective? That's what I want to know. Thank my small group for the questions. They were good questions. They were good questions. 29, 31. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I was like a 29 was actually my first answer, but I wanted to be in my 30s because I personally think that the 30s are better than the 20s. I really do. 30s are the jam. 30s are where it's at. So I have no qualms with being in my 30s. I'm inching closer and closer to 40, but in my 30s, no. Love them. Love them. So 31 outweighed 29 for me. No younger than 25. Yeah, no. 28? 28? Yeah. So we're all kind of in agreement of like late 20s, early 30s, right? Our bodies haven't started to betray us yet in any sort of real way. Um, we're fit, we're active, we're energized, we're, old enough. We're meeting, life milestones, things like that, but still not so old that everything starts to slow down, right? Good questions, y'all. Good questions. Anything else that you guys want to touch on before I let y'all go? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's 8 o'clock almost. Like this day has just I wish against wish and hope against hope that Costco would open earlier. I really do. The thing that started the delay was my husband texted me, "We are almost out of bread," before he left for the office this morning. And that singular statement is what cost me my entire day. Because "we are almost out of bread" has the subtext of "you need to go to Costco," because that is where we get the bread that we like. And it is such an expensive brand of bread that Costco is the only place that it makes sense to purchase it. So I had to go to Costco. And you don't just walk in and walk out with one thing at Costco. And then it's a whole thing. And then Costco doesn't open till 10 o'clock. And I was like, and then the way my brain works is I want to go to Costco first, because anything that I can't find at Costco that I need, I can get at Target, right? And not vice versa. So I wanted to go to Target at like 8:30 this morning and just get it over with, but I had to wait until Costco opened. My whole day, y'all, has just been, oh my goodness. I don't think that's true, Andy. I think you can have an ideal age. My bread, we use the Angelic Bakehouse bread. The macros on it are so good. It's like 90 calories a slice, which I know a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, 90 calories for a slice of bread." No, that's fine. 90 calories a slice. There's 5 grams of protein in it. There's like 3 grams of fiber in it. It's really solid, and the ingredients are all really, really solid, wholesome ingredients too. No extra like processed filler junk stuff. So super clean, super good, and doesn't upset my husband's digestion in any way. Very, very wholesome and hearty. And it's like, I don't know, $5 or $6 a loaf. And like if you went to, because you got to go to like the fancier grocery stores to get it to begin with. Target does not sell it. I don't know if Walmart sells it. I know I haven't been in a Walmart in so long, I can't even tell you. But when I've looked, it's like $5 or $6 a loaf of this bread. At Costco, 3 loaves of this bread is under $9. It's 8 something. I can't remember if it's closer to the 9 or closer to the 8, but it's 8.60 or something like that. So the price is unbeatable. So yes, I will get in my car and go to Costco just to go buy this bread. For sure. It's very, very good. I know. That's the problem. That is the problem. I walked in needing one thing. I walked out spending $170. Because that's what Costco does to you. The Kirkland. Oh, interesting. I've never looked at the Kirkland version of bread. I don't know that I've ever really noticed that there's a Kirkland signature label on any of the bread. I just kind of look for the brands that I know. Well, if the angelic bread ever goes away, I'll have to keep my eyes peeled. Of pure protein and spend 120 calories and a lot more money for something with the exact same ingredients. Doesn't seem worth it. But wait, so the only problem you have with it is it's 20 more calories? But it's probably 4 more grams of protein too. 5 more grams of protein, right? Oh, that's valid. That's valid. That's possible. Oh, nice. Yeah. It's as long as you read the nutrition information. I have found that like gone are the days of my husband and I eating bread that doesn't have fiber and doesn't have protein in it. We don't do it. Occasionally, well, no, that's not even true. Because I'll say I'll make like the wild grain sourdough breads, but even those have protein in them. Like it's actually pretty heavily proteined bread. Um, so yeah, gotta love the good bread. And people always discount the bread. They don't have sandwiches and things like that because of the bread. The bread can really help you meet your protein macro, meet your fiber goals. Like you just got to get the right bread. That's all. Oh, that's weird. That's very weird. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I have to use up all the protein I have and then I'll worry about investigating new protein powders. But it is 8 o'clock. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to let you go. Make sure that you come back tomorrow because I have a vlog going live and would love for you to see it. And until next week, my friends, take care and I'll talk to you then. Bye.